better sing, Kelly.
When I get home on the other side, I'm gonna shake my hands with the elders. I'm gonna sit down.
Tell all the people good morning.
I'm gonna sit down beside my Jesus.
Hey.
I'm gonna sit down and rest a little while.
This is one American part.
Ha, ha, break it. Hey. Hey, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Natoy. I didn't know which name you wanted to use, so I had you say it. It's Natoy. And she also has a YouTube channel. She's a makeup YouTuber. What's the what's the lingo?
Girl, I don't even know.
She don't even know.
I'm a vlogger.
She's a vlogger, but she does makeup. So I'll be putting the link to her channel below this video. So we're gonna talk about being Jamaican-American. And we're gonna talk about first, how do we define that? So Natoy, like, what would you define Jamaican-American as being?
Okay, so for me, being Jamaican-American, for me, I was born in Jamaica. So for me, Jamaican-American is someone who comes from the ancestry of Jamaica or has links to Jamaica, and most likely their parents are Jamaican, mother or father or both. So you're literally brought up as a Jamaican. Mm-hmm. You don't really know the American culture until you grow into it, mm-hmm. for a sense. So
yeah, same thing, similar. I was born in America, but my family was all from Jamaica. Mother, father, grandparents, cousins, whatever, all of them. So yeah, same thing. You were in America, but in your house, you were Jamaican. The only time I experienced being American is when I went to school. And even that was kind of confusing because I grew up in Bridgeport, and Bridgeport has so many different cultures blended together in one place. So yeah, it's crazy how like we all be in America, but we experience life so differently at home. So yeah, that's how we define being Jamaican-American. It's just basically our heritage from our parents. So I want to ask you, what did your family like call you? And it was very offensive to me growing up. I was so upset being American. I wanted to like cry a lot when my family would talk about who I was.
So for me, they call me a fake Jamaican.
Fake Jamaican.
Or Yankee.
Or Jamaican.
Oh. So it's funny because like I was actually born in Jamaica, mm-hmm. but I was raised in America. Mm-hmm. So it's like being home, you're supposed to be Jamaican, but yet you're not Jamaican enough.
No.
So if I say a little lingo, they're like, sit down, you sound stupid.
Yeah.
You're not Jamaican. Mm-hmm. But then in the same breath, you know, when it comes down to standing up for where I'm from, it's like, oh, you're Jamaican. You better tell people you're Jamaican.
Right.
You're not American. I'm like,
what?
Which one?
As a kid, you're probably like, I'm so confused.
Right.
Yeah, I was the same thing, the Yankee. And like, even if I don't even try to speak anything close to Patois, I'm just sitting in a room with a whole bunch of Jamaicans going, and they'll look at me and be like, oh, she don't know what we're talking about and stuff like that. So yeah, I was just very kind of lost and confused. And it hurt me that like my Jamaican family would look down on me in a way because I wasn't. And it's not like I had the choice of choosing where I was going to be born. Like, if it was that serious of a deal, it should have just had me in Jamaica, like, and let me live there.
Right.
Rather than me just being born here and being like, almost, it felt like I was being teased a lot growing up. And I was really teased in school, and to come home to be like, oh, you're not us, it's kind of hurtful. Yeah. And how did your, like, I want to say American friends, but your friends outside of your family identify you?
They just thought I was black. Mm-hmm. Some would be like, oh, you're African American, and I'm like, nah. I'm not African American. But you know, when you're black in America, they fit you, they just squeeze you into this group, and they don't realize like Africans, yes, we do derive from Africa, but that's a completely different culture. Like the African culture versus the Caribbean culture, two different things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities, a lot, but different.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it depends. I remember one time I went to Seaside Beach, talked to my friend. They were like, Kelly, I need you to understand that you're not American. And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, no, you're not American, you're Jamaican. I was like, I'm black. They're like, no, you're not black. I know, they're like, you're not black, you're Jamaican. And I'm like, no, listen, I am black. Black encompasses all people who are derived from Africa. I'm not African American though, but I am Jamaican American. And they'll be like, no, Kelly, you're Jamaican. I'm like, you know what?
I give it up.
If you guys want to call me Jamaican, whatever.
You gave birth to me.
Clearly. Like, clearly. They're like, you're not black. I'm like, yes, I technically I'm brown. Should I say that?
You know, I'm much closer to this than we do with
than
color
that.
black, right? Just saying, but okay.
Yeah. So I was gonna talk about like how we people who are not technically African American feel about being called African American, being put in that group. Because my mom, born in Jamaica, came here and was told she was African American, and she was confused as to like what African American was. And then me growing up, not knowing any better, thought I was African American, and I identified as that until I was like, wait. So like when I talk to my African American friends and they talk about chitlins
And
collard greens, I'm like,
you
what?
mean callaloo?
Yeah, like callaloo. And they're like, aren't you black? And I'm like, yeah, but my family's not from here. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, wow, it's crazy how like we look exactly the same, but we are culturally totally different. Yeah. And I think that people just need to be like, okay, a safe word to use if you don't know where someone is culturally, just say black. Like, we're not gonna be offended if a white person calls us black. Like, that's what we are. Don't just be like, if you say African American, I'm gonna look at you kind of twisted, because
I get offended.
I get offended.
Yeah, I really do get offended when I'm called African American. Not that either one is bad, being African or American. It's just that's not me. So identify me as who I am.
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican American and everything.
Because attached to that label is history.
Yeah.
And my history isn't from America, it's from the islands. And then then other things too, because it's not like Caribbean people are just all from Africa.
No, we have so
There's so much mix up, but I just say I'm African because I'm dark and that's the most dominant thing. So I'm just, all the other stuff is cool, and I learn about other cultures that I'm a part of, but African is the strongest gene in
And
me.
when you call us African American, you're basically canceling out our history from the Caribbean islands. So it's like,
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, for real, sometimes I have no idea what my African American friends are talking about. When they're talking about certain artists, I'm like, who? Like, certain, like, cultural things Americans do, you just have no idea what they're talking about. It's crazy how they think that we know, but we really have no idea.
just learn along the way.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you love about kind of being both in a way? Or like we can do like, what do you love about being Jamaican and what do you love about being American?
Okay, so for me, I was just talking about this with one of my friends because she assumed that I was American when she first met me. But then I think one day on Snapchat, like, I was just being silly and I busted out in the Jamaican lingo. She was like, what? So you're really Jamaican? I was like, yeah, I don't just say I am. Like, I can speak patois, but I choose not to. So I turn it on and off. And then when I go to like stores and when I used to work at like TJ Maxx, I would have like Jamaican customers come in and they'll start talking to each other. And I'll be standing there just bagging their stuff and they're just talking junk. Or they're just saying something nice. Yeah, it's the best part because they don't think that we know what they're talking about because we probably speak a certain way or we act a certain way. So it's like, oh, you know, fun night out there. I'm like, that's how you feel about me?
Wait till I ring you up and it's a choir girl.
Right. And I'm like, okay, you know, and then at the end I'm like, oh, you know, I understood everything you just said. It's just, and they give you that thing, it's like, so that's the best part. I think it's just knowing the lingo, knowing the language, and then just pretending like
the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Element of surprise. I'm telling you, I know it's a terrible thing. Caribbean people are rude as hell sometimes. Oh my god. And it's not just Jamaican, it's like Haitian, Jamaican, whatever.
Chinese. Oh Lord.
They're so rude, right? And because I worked at a daycare, but it was at a nursing home. And you know them CNAs are so rude. Oh my God, I'd be walking with the kids and they'd be looking at you like, but because they think probably I'm American, and then when they finally like realize that I'm not, they're like, oh, like their attitude kind of changes as to like how they treat you and stuff. So yeah. So what do you love about just Jamaican?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. This is why I get offended when people call me American.
So I'm gonna talk about some memories of growing up in Jamaican households. Man, it was stressful but fun. So I can remember one thing. So when you would get a beating,
Oh my God.
and I think it's definitely connected to slavery because it makes no sense. Like when you get a beating and you cry and they ask you what you're crying for.
What? Didn't you go?
And it's not like they're hitting you with a feather. Like it's whatever is around the majority of the time.
They wouldn't use a box.
A box. I got dolls. You're probably like, oh my God, child abuse. No, we're fine.
No,
Don't worry.
trust me, it helped.
We knew the difference. But we were like, also, I was bad. Like I got myself into stuff I shouldn't have done. Would I do that with my own children? No, I'm too lazy to be throwing stuff. But like that was one of like the really weird cultural things growing up where like discipline was so confusing. What about you?
Yeah, pretty much. That's the first thing that came to mind was like when I did something that I know I wasn't supposed to do, I would run into my room and pretend I was sleeping. Yes, mother, I did that. And it worked sometimes. Other times not so much, but it's okay. You know, like we said, we're fine. And we recovered well.
We grew up to be respectful children.
Right.
Adults.
Definitely. I do believe, okay, this is a whole other story.
If
but
you
like,
wanna mention
I
it.
do believe that spanking your kids is good, but no abuse.
No.
Spanking and abuse is two different things.
Definitely.
And Caribbean, for the most part, Caribbean and even African, we are raised to, you know, discipline.
Be respectful. Like you could be a hot mess at home, but especially if you go out in the street,
You're representing your whole entire family.
Lord.
I mean, your ancestors, like the people who died back in 19 how long? Like,
I know.
That's who are, they don't play with that. Respect is a must in the Caribbean culture, especially Jamaican.
Yeah.
When you walk in the door, if you don't say hello, good morning, good night,
All of that.
watch me at you. That's all I remember hearing. Watch me at you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or if you like go out with your mom, you're behaving, and then some little kid and their mom
You look
not
at them
listening,
like-
and your mom just like, I dare you. I'm like, I didn't even do anything. Like, and I'll get so mad, and she was like, why are you mad? I'm like, because I'm getting in trouble for something another kid is doing. I had nothing. Like I had nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
But it's like it's a good reminder to myself. Like you know better.
Or when you see a kid misbehaving in the store, you would look at them like, only if you were with my mom.
Like, do you need my mom? I have her number. Here's her card because you're rude. It's ridiculous. So, another thing. So, you grew up in the church, like, right? Right. I mean, is there really an option?
There's no choice.
Okay. So, was your family Catholic in Jamaica? Okay, so my family was, and I asked them because I know Catholic churches here in America, they're really quiet. And
Right.
I don't got time for that because I'm ready to fall asleep because it's so like
Yeah.
eerie. But in Jamaica, they're like, no, they're
really?
loud.
Catholic churches in Jamaica?
Yeah, that's what my mom said. She was like, it wasn't quiet. They sang and they were loud. I was like, oh,
I learned something new today.
I didn't
I
know
didn't
that.
even know Catholics were in Jamaica.
Yeah, but then, my family switched out and we grew up Pentecostal, but the hymnals. Old Jamaican hymnals. Okay, let me see if I can remember some.
You know, Meet Me by the River.
Meet Me by the River? I don't know. How does that one go?
I don't want to sing it because I know I'm going to give myself away. Literally.
No, it's okay.
Nah, but I got to do the clap. I need a little tambourine. Meet me by the river. Someday.
Okay.
Meet me by the river. Not far away. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but I know Yeah.
Okay. So the other one I was singing it the other day. The hotter, no, wait, no, the hotter the buckle, the sweeter the victory.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yes.
With troubles and trials.
You better sing, Kelly.
When I get home, on the other side, I'm gonna shake my hands with the elders. I'm gonna sit down.
Tell all the people good morning.
I'm gonna sit down beside my Jesus.
Hey.
I'm gonna sit down and rest a little while.
This is one American part.
Ha, ha, freaking. Hey. But oh my God, church used to be fire in the 90s.
When we rock the rock on Jesus.
Jesus' name so sweet.
Jesus' name so sweet.
Emmanuel name so sweet.
Jesus' name so sweet. Hey.
Emmanuel name so sweet. Or what's the other rock one? I am under the rock.
Yes.
The rock is higher than I.
did a praise dance to this.
Jehovah hide me. I am under the rock.
Rock the rock, rock.
Go tell my enemies. I am under the rock. Woo. Jehovah hide me. I am under the rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Saw that break.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't know about that. You didn't know we could do that.
that was. I miss those days, y'all.
Or fire.
Fire, fire, fire.
My mom doesn't like that.
What? I don't burn.
It was one of them songs, or it's another one. It's like, bun them. That's the one she doesn't like. Bun them with the Holy Ghost.
Oh.
She's like, what? Why would you want to bun somebody
It's not
with the Holy
consuming
Ghost?
fire.
That's not consuming.
Oh my God.
Burning them, they're...
Yeah, by fire is more like the spirit of God.
Right.
It's like, of course, you know, I hope you don't actually
Yeah,
think
we
Jamaicans
don't-
are like
Yeah,
throwing
we
fire
don't
on people.
light each other on fire when we're talking about Jesus.
No. But yeah, this is a good talk. I like this. This is fun. But yeah, this is really cool. Maybe I'll do a video with you on makeup culture. You know, do people wear makeup because they're trying to hide, or is it art? I want to like talk about that because that's awesome.
That's a perfect topic.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. So yeah, so I had fun, and hopefully she can come back on very soon because I start school soon. So I'm like, let me get out all these videos as fast as possible. So yeah, thanks. I know. That's like a math statistics class. I was like, why? What does that have to do with counseling?
Yeah. Well, you gotta know the statistics.
Not really. Of math?
1 in 10 of I don't know what, but
it's math. Because like I failed it in my undergrad.
Wow.
So I came back to haunt me.
But you gotta do better this time around.
I pray to God.
You're gonna get
I haven't taken math in years, so I have
Gonna get
no
A.
clue. In the name of Jesus, I'm gonna get an A.
Jesus.
All right, bye guys. Yay! That was good.